kasaysayan ng mga simbahan ay nanatiling nakatayo at nasa mabuting pag-aalaga ng gobyerno. Tinatawag din ang bayan na ito bilang City Town, Blessed Town, dahil nakaligtas sa mga lumang tindahan at simbahan sa mga pagbubomba ng mga Hapon. Ang mga bahay na ito ay tila bilang historical site. Sinasabing mayaman din ang Pila sa kanilang makulay na pista. Ito ay ang Pila Festival. Ang pangalang Pila ay galing pangalan ng Pila Laguna. Ang salitang Pila ay sa salitang palay o rice. Ang palay ay isa sa pangunahing produkto ng Pila.
Centuries-old Asia's first Antonine church has been elevated to a national shrine, status, originally made of hardwood and bamboo. The church was inaugurated in 1581 in its first site in Pagalangan. In 1599, the construction of the stone church started April 23, 2019. Originally made of hardwood and bamboo, the church was inaugurated in 1581 in its first site in Pagalangan. In 1599, the construction of the stone church started. It took 18 years to finish until its completion in 1617. Due to consistent flooding in Pagalangan, the Governor-General in November 1794 ordered the transfer of the church to the Hacienda Santa Clara, now known as Pila Town, as locals wanted to rebuild the church to its original design and structure. They decided to come together and unite to carry and transfer every brick and stone from the church in Pagalangan to Pila, 1804.
The first missionaries in Pila were Augustinians who administered their missions from Bay. The Franciscans then started to evangelize the townsmen of Pila through Fray Juan Portocarrero de Plasencia and Fray Diego de Oropesa de San Juan, known as the Apostles of Laguna and Tayabas. In 1578, they started to establish Villa de Pila and soon built a church out of cane, dedicated to Saint Anthony of Padua. From being a reduction, Pila was elevated to a parish on the feast of its titular on June 13, 1581, with Fray Oropesa of its pastor, until 1583. With its establishment, Pila became the first church dedicated to Saint Anthony in the country. The Spanish colonial authorities gave the Pila the title La Noble Villa. The first missionaries in Pila were Augustinians who administered their missions from Bay. The Franciscans then started to evangelize the townsmen of Pila through Fray Juan Portocarrero de Plasencia and Fray Diego de Oropesa de San Juan, known as the Apostles of Laguna and Tayabas. In 1578, they started to establish Villa de Pila and soon built a church out of cane, dedicated to Saint Anthony of Padua. From being a reduction, Pila was elevated to a parish on the feast of its titular on June 13, 1581, with Fray Oropesa of its pastor, until 1583. With its establishment, Pila became the first church dedicated to Saint Anthony in the country. The Spanish colonial authority bell. The oldest surviving church bell of Pila was cast on the centenary of the parish in 1681 with the Franciscan emblem and the inscription San Antonio de Padua. It survived British invaders in 1762 when the people of Pila submerged it in Laguna de Bay facing the church convent. Due to flooding in Pagalangan, today's Victoria, the church and rectory were demolished and transferred to their current site in Santa Clara in the 1800s. The land where the Pila Church and municipal hall of Pila stands was donated by Felizardo Rivera, the recognized founder of Pila. The buildings were constructed under the direction of Fray Antonio de Argobejo and Fray Domingo contributing for it. From 1812 to 1835, Filipino secular priests served as acting pastors of Pila due to a shortage of Franciscan priests. These include Fray Lorenzo Samaniego, 1812 to 1816, Pedro de los Santos, 1816 to 1819, Pedro Alcantara, 1819 to 1826, and Rodesindo Aquino, 1826 to 1835. The present church and convent was built in 1849 by Fathers Antonio Argobejo and Domingo de Valencia. Both structures were badly damaged during the 1880 earthquake in shock. The bell tower toppled. The bell transfer was reconstructed by Father Damas Bolanas and finished by Father Francisco de Santa Eulalia and again rebuilt by Father Lope Toledo. The present rectory Benito also started the Archicofradia del Nuestro Señor Padre San Francisco, which was next in rank to the Venerable Order Tercera of the Franciscan Order. The religious festival of Flores de Mayo, for which Pila is now well known, was introduced in 1888 by Fray Benito de los Infantes. In 1855, plans for a concrete belfry were drawn by the local architect and builder Maestro Sebastian Ballen and was built after the 1863 earthquake. Pila Church. The Church of Pila, also known as the San Antonio de Padua Parish Church, is a church dedicated to Saint Anthony of Padua in the Philippines in 1578, and the first Anthony Parish Church in the Philippines in 1581, and probably in Asia. It is also designated as the National Shrine of San Antonio de Padua, or Filipino Pambansang Dambana ng San Antonio de Padua, of the Catholic Bishop Conference of the Philippines in April 23, 2019. In 1606, the Franciscans set up the second printing press of the Philippines under the supervision of Thomas Pinfield in Domingo Lawag. Its titular is Saint Anthony of Padua, whose feast is celebrated every June 30. Pila Church. The Church of Pila, also known as Antonio de Padua Parish Church, is a church dedicated to Saint Anthony of Padua in the Philippines in 1578, and the first Antonine Parish Church in the Philippines in 1581, and probably in Asia. It is also designated as the National Shrine of San Antonio de Padua, or Filipino Pambansang Dambana ng San Antonio de Padua, of the Catholic Bishop Conference of the Philippines in April 23, 2019. In 1606, the Franciscans set up the second